Okay, let's start with the title. Let's talk about it. If she's not helping you, she is hurting you. It's very self explanatory. If she's not helping you, she is hurting you. And if she's hurting you, you need to leave her. You need to block her. She doesn't belong in your life. And you can just sit down as a man and think about your woman and be like, you know, is this woman the best for me? Does she have my best interests at heart? You know, is your head all clogged and fogged with a bunch of BS from being questioned or nagged or second guessed? You know, the number one thing a woman can do for a man is be his peace. Be that man's peace. Number one thing you can do for a man, be his peace. Be his comfort. You know, that's all a man really needs. A high value man. You know, there's some men out there, of course, that need a woman. I'm not talking about them. You know, I'm talking about a man who can self sustain by himself. He doesn't need her. She just fits in and accommodates him. You know, becomes his comfort. You know, do you nurture him? Are you uplifting? You know, these women who ain't got nothing to offer but some attitude, you know, they're hurting you. They're clogging up your head. You think you can be on your best hustle and you're constantly arguing, going back and forth with this woman? Nah, it doesn't work like that. You can't just have a clogged and fogged head from all the arguing, the belittling. You know, she emasculates you. You know, you can't even get through a shift at work. Your head's all clogged up from all the BS. You can't think straight. Get rid of these type of women. You know, work on you. You know, there is a lot of really good women out there. Don't get me wrong, but they're doing their thing. They have shows for days and days and days for women. You know, we're trying to motivate these men to shake these suckers, shake these leeches, you know, stop dragging their lives down by carrying some woman that doesn't even deserve it. You know, what kind of tone does that woman use with you? Does she roll her eyes? Is she negative all the time? You know, she's hurting you. She's hurting you. You can't be your maximum potential self with that kind of mess in your life, that kind of negativity. Get it out your life. Get it out your life. You know, a woman that cooperates with you, it's such a blessing. You know, it's such a blessing. It's so nice to have somebody who works with you, you know. You know, she takes your lead and listens. You know, two people together who are in cooperation, they can move mountains. But, you know, these women, they want you to fund their whole lifestyle. They don't even want to cooperate with the most simple things. You know, does she cooperate with you? Is she soft? Is she gentle? Is she quiet? You know that all just goes to peace. Is she your peace? You know, a man needs a woman who knows when to be quiet. You know, it's huge. It's absolutely huge. Does she know when to be quiet and let you just have your own mind space? You know, is she messy? Is she organized? You know, an organized woman will step into your life and find all kinds of little nicks and things, and she'll make it better. She'll see things that you're not doing right. You know, like you're like, dang, I didn't even notice. You know, you'll just notice the difference. You know, if she's not helping you, she's hurting you. There's just no gray area. Every man can just look at his relationship and be like, is this positive for me? Is this uplifting for me? Is this a drag for me? Is this dragging me down? Is this hurting me more than it's helping me? Is this just all me spending and not getting anything, not even any emotional support back? You know, is she your peace? Is she nurturing? You want nurturing women around you because you want a nurturing wife. You want a nurturing companion that's going to be raising your children. You don't want some brass, crass, loud mouth, crude woman raising your children. No, that's low value. That's low value. That's low energy. Does she listen and cooperate? That's huge. Cooperation. Does she cooperate? Does she go along with your goals? Does she even have the same goals as you? A lot of these women don't even want to have the same goals. You're working against each other. That's not healthy. You can do bad by yourself. A man can do good by himself, But he doesn't need that. Does she listen? When you speak, does she listen? Does she think she knows everything? Is she one of those know-it-all women? You can't say nothing. She's always got an opinion or some BS or seeing some negativity. That's huge. You can't accomplish your goals with no woman like that around you. Is she uplifting, or does she just always got her hand out? She always got her hand out for what you can do for her. Does she want to accept what you can do for her, but she still wants to do her own thing? That's BS. And get rid of these types. Men have needs. Men have needs. If she's just, satisfying your needs for the moment, then I get it. I get it. But you're starting to invest your money and your time and latch on to these type of women, you're crazy. You're crazy. You're shooting yourself in the foot. You're handicapping yourself. Women can be the biggest blessing in your life or the biggest curse. It's, there's usually no in between. Is that woman uplifting you, or is she dragging you down? Is she your peace? Is your home your peace? Is your home your peace when she's in it? Is it quiet? Is it relaxed? Is everything just, going smooth and you can chill and take a load off your mind? Or is your house just static and crazy and, it's worse than when you even got home? Man has the burden of the world on his shoulders. He doesn't need a bunch of mess when he gets home. There's enough stress and pressure and demands on men as it is. We don't need all that when we come home. We don't need all that mess. I'd advise you to come home to nobody before you come home to some woman who's got you all stressed out, angry all the time. You can't even concentrate on your goals. You can't even concentrate on your money because she got you so mentally twisted in the head and angry and stressed, and you wondering if this is even the right position for you to be in life. And if you're wondering that, it's not. Run. Get away. Like I said, as men, we can do real good by ourselves. We don't need all this mess. You're just being too thirsty. Does this woman truly want what's best for you? Because if she is planning on being with you long term, she should want what's best for you. Why is that so hard to see? She should want what's best for you. Does she want what's best for you? She just looking out for herself. Men, you're not stupid. You can tell when somebody wants best for you. You can, you know, because if she wants to be with you long term, she's hitching herself to your wagon, then of course she should want what's best for you because that's what's best for her too in the long run. She wants you to succeed because it's a form of her succeeding. Women don't want to wait for any of that. They all want to hitch their wagon to a man that's already succeeded. We spot that a mile away. We spot it a mile away. Or at least smart men do, or men who aren't in denial, because they're being used but don't want to admit it. There's lots of them out there too. That's why a lot of these women are finding themselves some suckers, some Johns, some guys that just pay the way. But that's not going to be us. That's the whole point of my whole broadcast. These type of men are ruining it for everybody. Is she helping you or is she hurting you? It's a very, very simple question. You sit yourself down. You picture the woman in your life. What is she doing that edifies your life? What holes is she filling in? A good woman, like I said, there's lots of them out there. She's gonna fill in holes in your life and that you didn't even know were there. She's gonna come in and see things you didn't even see. But you out here taking care of these scavengers, these leeches, these vultures. They ain't got nothing going on in life but to hustle a man. Obviously, they don't want what's best for you. They're not helping you in any way. Take sex off the table. They're really not helping you in any way at all. Why? Why are you keeping them around? Are you so afraid? Are you so thirsty you just can't be alone? Or you're so thirsty you're just driven by your needs? Don't be driven by your needs. Take some time out. Work on your streams of income. Work on yourself. Put down the alcohol. Drink water. Put down the bottle. Stop all that vaping BS and all that crap. Make sure you can breathe when you go to the gym. That's low value people BS. Limit your addictions. Nothing crazy. Everybody has vices. But they shouldn't be such big of vices that they're tearing your life apart, and women are one of the biggest vices. And they'll tear your butt to pieces. They'll drag your whole life downwards. They'll drag your whole life down quicker than gambling. Because you're gambling on this woman that ain't doing a dang thing for you. And the sad thing is, most of you men, that she ain't worth nothing. She ain't got nothing to offer. And you still willing to gamble on her. If she's not helping you, she is hurting you. It's just that simple. Let's simplify things, fellas. If she is not helping you, she is hurting you. Either or. This isn't I need to sit back and think about this. You know if she's helping you or hurting you. What does she bring to the table? Is she making your life easier? Every woman you bring into your world should be making your life easier. And ladies, don't get all mad at me. If you're sitting there doing a bunch of good things for a man, making his life easier, lifting him up, supporting him, you deserve the best too. Absolutely. Absolutely. We're not talking about y'all today. We're talking about these ones that are coming in droves that just think that it's their entitlement to live off men, drain men. Men should be paying for everything. We ain't obligated to be paying for squat, jack squat. We got a whole epidemic of women thinking it's a man's job to pay for their whole entire lifestyle. It's not. It's not our job. It's not our obligation. They're obviously the ones that are hurting you. They're not helping you. They're not helping you at all. You're doing good in life. A good woman comes into your life, you're doing better. You're doing better. You doing bad in life and a good woman comes into your life, you're doing better. Thus the good woman, Good woman, You get a bad woman, you could be the richest man on earth. You'd be a multi-millionaire. You could be a multi-millionaire, living good, eating good, worry-free. Bring in the wrong woman into your life, and it can all come crashing down. She can destroy relationships with your family, your kids, your friends. Don't let these leeches get under your skin. Is she helping you or is she hurting you? A good woman, she wants to hitch herself to your wagon. She gonna come in and see your house, your apartment, where you live, and she's automatically gonna give herself some little tasks, some little errands. How can I make his life a little more comfortable, What little tidiness is he missing that I can pick up on and make him shake his head and be like, yeah, I didn't even ask, and look what she's doing. Those type of women are the best. Those type of women that step in and start being really caring and take care of business, and you didn't even ask. Start doing those little things, because the little things really matter, to a high value man. Those little things that he didn't even recognize he was missing. A woman that can show a man what he's missing, he didn't even know it. Whew. She can steal his heart so quick. But we got all these women out here, they'll step into a man's life and it's just like she's stepping into a department store that says free. She just grabbing whatever she can grab. She trying to take it all with her little greedy ass. She sees a man got a little nice car and a nice house. She trying to plant her flag in something she didn't even earn. Spot these leeches. She didn't earn that. She didn't earn that. She ain't earned nothing you got. And if you're not there yet as a man, step back. Like, I got goals. I need to work on me. I need to work on me, sweetheart. I need to do me. I need to work on me. So I'm going to go ahead and block you real quick. It's going to be permanent because you weren't worth a dang. So if she was worth a dang, you'd be cooperating and building together. Stay away from them. Just stay away from them. You'll get that, little voice in the back of your head that tells you immediately when you sit across the dinner table from them, when you start spending a little bit of time with a woman, you'll get that feeling in your head. If you're barking up the wrong tree or the right tree from the first few minutes of conversation. Is she loud? Is she rude? Is she a know-it-all? A man that values himself doesn't want any of that bullshit in his life. Start saying no. Say no. Get your life together. A good woman, she gonna come into your life and she gonna jump right into How can I be secretary mode? She gonna want to be your secretary. She don't want to do any little tasks or errands or, you know, because she knows that's more seeing you. That's more, you know, what she can making herself valuable in your life. You know, a woman that's helping you be the best version of yourself. You know, she's gonna make herself valuable in your life, not the other way around. Not how valuable you can be to her if she really likes you, or, you know, is wife material, or is willing to go down that road with you, whether it's smooth sailing or bumpy rocks. You know, she's gonna make herself valuable in your life. So let's talk about that. What can she do to make herself valuable in your life? You know, very, very simple. Be your peace. If she ain't your peace, then get rid of her. You know, stop hanging on to the arguing, all the BS, the anger, the going back and forth, the nasty texts. You know, does she ask you what you need? You know, if she's not helping you, she's hurting you. Does she ask you what you need? You know, hey babe, what do you need? There's a launder list of things that women will say that they need. Shit, they'll say it. They'll say it when they first meet you. They'll say it before they meet you. They'll say it in their bios. They'll say it to their friends. I need a man who does this, 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 and this. You know, what does she do for you? Is she your peace? You know, is she your comfort? Is she comforting? So big. You know, a high value man, a man who values himself, a man who has this together. You know, he doesn't need anything from a woman really, but peace, comfort, you know, take good care of my kids. You know, that's really it. Keep the house clean, the home in order, of course. Very important. Can't leave that one out. You know, can you trust her? A lot of y'all men out here giving money to women you can't even trust. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Y'all off your rockers. Giving money to a woman you can't even trust. You know, knowing dang well she ain't gonna be there through hard times. She gonna coast on the good times, and as soon as the good times end, she's gone. Can you trust her? No. You shouldn't be with a woman or making a woman your wife or your significant other unless you can trust her, and that's another lost art. Can you trust this woman? I mean, you should be able to know by her behavior if she's a trustworthy woman. I'm not even saying give chances. Is she trustable? You know, I'm not saying, you know, of course you could probably leave your kid with her or something like that, but, you know, 70% of divorces are initiated by women. So that tells me that 70% of the time men were with women that they shouldn't have trusted. They didn't read the signs. If 70% of divorces are initiated by women, that means a whole lot of men trusted a woman that they didn't have no business trusting. And look what it got them. You know, you could have that house, that car, that perfect family, those kids, all that. Those are all hers now. Now the kids are used as a control tactic, a financial tactic. You ain't even living in your own house. You gotta finance her cars, you know. You better marry a woman you can trust. Not because she's cute. You You better put in some time with a woman, like some serious time before you think you could marry her. Like she has to act like wifey and a good wifey before you actually wife her. Cause divorce is such a raw deal for men, you know. You better think twice. You won't even know your kids anymore. It's a raw deal for men. Only marry a woman you really in your heart think, yeah, I can trust her. I can leave every cent I have with her. I could let her hold every dollar I'm worth in cash and leave for a year and it won't be touched. That type of trust. Because your answer to no, if your answer is no to you can't trust her or leave a large sum of cash around her, even, I mean, sadly, that's the test we have to put in our head. Could we leave a large portion of cash or everything we had with her, and would it go untouched? And I think a lot of men who think they're going to answer, oh yeah, I could trust her. You don't even know her. You think you can trust her? You don't even know her. No, you don't know her. You think you can trust her? That's why so many men are getting taken for everything that they got. Celebrities, athletes, regular men, doctors, lawyers, accountants, it doesn't matter the profession, politicians. You know, divorce is wiping men out. Because they trusted some woman that they should have seen the red flags to begin with. You know, if she's not helping you, she's hurting you. That's a huge red flag, or it's a huge, blessing from the beginning. You can tell. You can tell. You know, was her mother helping to her father? Are they still together? That's huge. That's huge. Are her parents still together? Did she come from a broken home? Because if she was raised to be somebody's wife, that's a huge advantage to helping you. If she was raised to be somebody's wife, she's obviously going to be much better at being a wife. You know, if she was raised by a single grandma, single mom, everybody hates dads, independent woman, we don't need a man. She's raised by all that nonsense. Her chances of divorce just skyrocketed, brother. You sitting there, she's single, her mama's single, her grandma's single. You think she ain't gonna be single? Of course she is gonna be. Her chances of having a successful long-term relationship are slim to none. She wasn't raised to be that. Find a woman that was raised by a mother who is a wife and has been a successful wife and has a good relationship with the father. It's huge. It's huge. It's so underrated. You know, a woman in your corner, you guys can cooperating with each other. You got a good woman in your corner. I'm talking about a good woman in your corner and you're cooperating with each other. You guys can go to the moon. You know, the sky's the limit. There is no limit. But you got one of these do nothing, nothing to offer, always arguing, always wanting you to pay for stuff, always has new stuff for you to pay for. You got one of these types, you ain't never gonna reach your full potential, ever. You know? And a man should always be looking to rise. So don't tell me I've reached my potential. so I can afford one of these lazy bums. Oh, you can't. There's no ceiling of potential for a man. We supposed to stay rising our entire life. You know, there's no excuse. Is the woman helping you or is she hurting you? You know, it's huge. It can, I mean, it literally tells if she wants to be with you or not. You know, a woman knows if she's helping you or hurting you. You know, is she concerned about your health? Does she want you to be the healthiest, best version of yourself? Does she just, because the party's on you, you're always willing to spend, you're always willing to pay, so she's always willing to go. She's always willing to go out, you know? Does she allow you to, is she just okay with you drinking all the time? Is she okay with you having vices and habits that destroy yourself? She's just there for the ride so she doesn't say anything. You know, a good woman's she ain't gonna want you sitting there hurting yourself. She's not gonna sit there and stand by while you're doing behavior that's self-destructive when she really likes you and she's really into you. She really wants to be with you. She really wants to be with you long term. She's not gonna allow you to indulge in self-destructive behavior. Okay? So, you know in your heart and your head as a man, if you're indulging in self-destructive behavior, is she just standing by watching? You know, is she just standing by watching you harm yourself with stupid habits? Or is she speaking up? Or is she trying to tone you down? Or is she trying to, you know, redirect your mind in other directions so you don't indulge, or, you know, you're occupying yourself in other ways? You know, no woman who wants you to be the best version of yourself is always going to be arguing and bickering with you over stupid BS. You know, why would you even think that? Some of these women, arguing is their only communication. Have you noticed that? It's the only way they even know how to communicate or talk anymore. They always have to have some strife, some BS going on. Always an argument. It can never just be straightforward answers, or, you know, these women are poison. They're pure poison. Don't let them in your life. Don't let them in your life. If you got one in your life, get her out. Love yourself. Love yourself enough to say no, to block her. Love yourself enough to block her. Get her out your life. You know, work on yourself. You only have one life. Work on yourself. Don't uplift somebody who's not doing the slightest to uplift you. Like I said, a good woman, you know, priceless. A good woman who knows her place, is submissive, listens, absolutely priceless. Absolutely priceless. If she makes your home just feel like the most peaceful place and it's filled with love, priceless. But you got one of these panhandling, always handout, leeching beggars, you know, it feels like your life is cursed. All that attitude and BS that you shouldn't even be putting up with. You know, give a man a big screen TV and a recliner and some food. He can be very peaceful by himself. So why are you cohabitating and living with a woman, or got a woman up in your house that's taken away from your peace? It's pure craziness. Don't do it to yourself. Don't do it to yourself. No. If she's not helping you, she's hurting you, and most of that is in the head. You know, is she nurturing? Is she comforting? Does she make you feel good about yourself? Not just because she's pretty and you're dating a pretty girl. lot of these pretty women, filthy houses, barely even bathe. You know, and you think that's the type of woman you want raising your children? You know, a filthy house is a form of hurting you. That's not peace. No real man can have peace with a bunch of clutter and disorganization. If you're an organized man, your woman should be twice as organized. Does she pay attention to details? Does she even listen when you speak? A lot of these women think you're supposed to pay for everything. They don't even want to listen to the slightest thing you say. You know, is she readily available? Does she answer your calls and texts on a timely basis? Or does she think she's got some chip on her shoulder, like it's cute to take forever to answer your texts or your calls? You know, is that the type of person you want in a case of emergency? Is that who you think has your back? Some woman that takes 30 minutes to answer a text or longer? You think that has your back? She ain't got your back. She doing bare minimum what she has to do just so she can get whatever she's getting out of you. You know, is she helping you or is she hurting you? Zero gray area. You know, like I said, I don't want to seem angry at women in any way, because there's a lot of good women out here, but there's also a lot of bums that think they're entitled to the world and they ain't got nothing to offer but a smart mouth, and it's just dragging men down. It's dragging men to drink. It's dragging men to not even want to be inside their own homes. You know, is your house at peace? It's huge. It's huge. Is your house at peace? Are you at peace in your house? If this woman got you where you're not at peace inside your own household, you don't need to be living with her, or she doesn't need to be at your house, or you don't need to be at her house. Get away from her. Period. Get away from any woman that you're dating or married to. I don't care if that's your wife. I don't care if she's your wife. Leave her. If she's not your peace, leave her. You want to spend the next 5, 10, 20 years mentally disturbed and angry? You know, leave her. It's that time. If she's your wife, you're going to have to pay her. But leave her. You're going to have to pay her one way or the other anyways. So, you know, is that woman really there for you? Is she really there for you? You know if she's there for you. A man knows. A man knows when a woman is rock solid and she's just really there for him. On a mental level, spiritual level, some of y'all dudes, y'all paying for everything for these women. They won't even pick you up if you needed a ride. Takes you 45 minutes to get a hold of them. But she wants you to answer real quick when she needs something. When she needs some gas in her car, or when she needs the light bill paid, you're supposed to answer immediately. But she thinks it's cute not to answer texts and calls for 30, 45 minutes, 2 hours. Like that makes her feel like she's in demand, or she's got other things going on, even though these women got their phone in their hand 24/7. Is she really there for you? That's huge. If you even have to think about it for 2 seconds, you're lost and you need to get rid of her. You need to block her. this is your house, your apartment, pack her stuff up. Put her back at her mama's house. You know, these women that ain't got nothing to offer, they're just big children anyway. Don't, not accountable for anything. Nothing's their fault. Expect people they hardly know to pay for everything. They're big children. They're overgrown children. Put that woman back at her mama house. Sorry. Pack it up. Pack it up. Go back to your mama house till you get your life together. Just like I'd advise the man the same thing. Don't be with that woman. Get your life together. Start with square one, your finances. And if that means you gotta go back to your parents because you gotta get rid of this woman, and then do it. Start with square one. Square one as a man by himself is always better than tugging through life with this dead weight bum woman on your side. You ain't gonna see your potential like that. You're not gonna reach your goals like that. This dead weight bum. Always arguing with you, always second guessing you, emasculating you. Get rid of her. She's dead weight. She's mental dead weight. She's physical dead weight. She's financial dead weight. Get rid of her. Block her. Don't be so thirsty that you can't get rid of a woman. Come on now. Have some self-respect. Have some self-esteem. If you're always arguing, she always got a problem, she's always disrespectful, rolling those eyes, making little comments, she's got a funky tone, get rid of her. Get her out your house. Get her out your life. She ain't got no business. Because all she's gonna do is hinder you from your goals. That's it. She ain't gonna do nothing else for you but spend up your money, stress you out, and keep you from achieving your goals. Why would you want that in your life? Why? You want a life of misery? Because that's where she'll drag you, is in a life of misery. I want a life of abundance, personally. I didn't even start to see a tiny bit of abundance in my life when I was messing with them bottom feeders. As soon as I started loving myself, respecting myself, believing in myself, that's when I got a respectable woman in my life. When I didn't love myself, respect myself, I had a bunch of broken, disrespectful, entitled women in my life. Never again, though. I made those mistakes when I was young. You can afford to make those mistakes as you're young. We're getting older. A grown man values time. He knows he needs to not be wasting time on any of these beggars. These women that think you should pay for everything. These women with the funky attitudes. These women with a bunch of male friends making you insecure. And then they'll tell you you're crazy because you're insecure about a situation when they're totally out of pocket. Is she your comfort? Is she your peace? Is she an honest person? If she's not helping you, she's hurting you. A dishonest person hurts you. An honest person helps you. Why is that so hard? Why is that so hard? That seems like it'd be common sense to me. But we got a bunch of dumb men chasing around women that they shouldn't even trust as far as they could see. You know, why would you trust these women that don't give you a single reason to trust them? Don't give you no reason to trust them. Don't give you no reason to value them except for that they're cute. You know, and you're over thirsty. You know, there's just zero gray area. There's zero gray area. If she's not helping you, she's hurting you. You know? Does she cooperate with you? That's so huge, but another one that's so simple. Are y'all in cooperation together? Does she listen? Does she value the things you say as a leader, as a man, and listen? That's huge. You trying to reach your goals with some woman who doesn't even listen to you? You lost. You're lost. Just being with a woman who doesn't even listen to you or speaks over you when you talk, you're lost. Is a woman even nice to you? You know, just pure niceness is gone these days. Is she nice to you? Does she have a nice tone? Does she have a respectful tone? Is she encouraging to you? She knows your goals. Does she encourage them? Or is she just like, oh, those are his goals? Whatever. No? Is she helping you to achieve your goals? If she's not helping you to achieve your goals and you haven't reached your goals, like, what are you doing with her? You shouldn't have anybody around you, friends, anybody who isn't helping you reach your goals. And you won't sit there spending all your time with some woman who's not helping you reach all your goals. She should be the number one person pushing you, helping you. The number one person if she's your woman. If she's your woman. You know, she should be the number one person helping you reach your goals. And 9 times out of 10 these days, we got some smart mouths and some begging going on. You know, rudeness, funky tones, funky tone of voice, just disrespectful, demeaning. And I encourage men not to put up with it. Stop putting up with it. You don't deserve it. You know, we have some men being very nice to these women who don't deserve it, and they're not getting anything back but some attitude. Only time they're nice is when they got their hand out. Literally, the only time they're nice, kind, and sweet is when they're about to ask for something. And 5 seconds after they get it, it's back to the rudeness. You know, a chip on your shoulder ain't cute, sweetheart. That turns men off. We don't want to see that. That bossy attitude, that's not boss energy, that's masculine energy. That's manly energy. You know, men have been attracted to feminine since the caveman days. We don't want all that masculine energy, all that bossy energy. You're a boss bee. No, you're just a bee. Men aren't looking for a boss. We're not looking for a female boss to boss us around. Nope, nope, nope. Absolutely not. So you can just take all that boss bee energy and save it for those weak men that put up with it. Because I ain't talking to those weak men. I'm talking to strong men. Men who respect themselves. Men who respect themselves way too much to be sitting here letting a woman disrespect him for no reason just because she thinks a funky attitude is cute. It ain't cute. That's hurting. It's hurting men. It's dragging us down. And I advise men not to put up with it. There's so many fish in the sea. Stop acting like she got the only one in this world. I'm trying to be nice with my language, but tell her to stop acting like she got the only one in the world. There's so many fish in the sea. We ain't got no business putting up with these funky attitudes and the disrespectful tones and the eye rolling. Nobody who respects themselves. Could you even imagine if there was a TV show and it was about a married couple and the man was just always rude and disrespectful and rolling his eyes and demeaning to the woman? They'd take that TV show off the air so dang quick. They wouldn't even put it on the air. It would test so negatively, it wouldn't last. Could you imagine a TV show where the man was just an eye-rolling, rude, disrespectful, talk over the woman, disrespect her? But they can have TV shows like that where women do it to the men. Look at King of Queens. Reverse those roles. All she did was talk about, she made fun of his weight, she called him dumb, she's constantly calling him chunky. Could you imagine a TV show if the roles were reversed and it was a man talking to a woman like that? Somebody'd probably get sued or something. Bunch of hate mail. It wouldn't fly. It just wouldn't fly. That's why I'm saying how ridiculous the hypocrisies are. No man should be putting up with that garbage, but we're expected to put up with everything. Stop it. Stop putting up with the garbage. Even if it's a woman, you've been dating her for 2 weeks, you should know within 2 weeks, is this woman helping me or is she hurting me? Am I having to put up a little bit of a chase or anything like that? You shouldn't have to chase. You don't have to chase no woman who's into you. You don't have to chase a woman that's into you. She gonna be right there any chance you let her. You don't have to chase. If you chasing women, you lost. You meet a woman within the first couple weeks, you know who's chasing who. Are you chasing her? She chasing you? Is it mutual? You can tell if somebody likes you or really likes you. We got all these men, though, trying to buy love. You think you got a lot of time with that woman, but all the time you see her, you have to have your wallet open, be spending on her. Fancy meals, taking her shopping, sending her money through cash sending apps. You're suckers. Stop it. Stop it. Let her be a grown woman. You letting her be a big ass child. Never having to grow up, never having to have any accountability. Just stop it. You're not her father. She's not your daughter. You ain't got no business sending her money through cash sending apps. I see men online. They're like, oh, I just sent you so and so much money. Have a good day. Just thinking of you. You're buying love. You're the stupidest men I've ever seen in my life. Just randomly texting women that you just sent them $500, $1,000, $2,500 just because you're thinking of them. Boy, you gotta be the dumbest men on earth, because as soon as that type of behavior stops, you ain't gonna have that woman anymore. I promise that. I promise when all that free giveaway stuff ends, she gonna be gone. When that money dries up, she gonna dry up. You're gonna start a relationship by letting her know that you're gonna be spoiling her. She should want to be next to you because she loves your plan. She respects your vision. She wants to be part of what you got going on. Not because of what you going on with how much you're sending her. how much you're doing for her this week, this day, this month. You think she'd even have your number in her phone if you weren't giving her money? Y'all are buying love. Stop buying love. Stop it. Like, how do you even feel like a real man when you're buying a woman's affection? When you gotta send her money for her to even speak to you. It's pathetic. There are some pathetic, weak men buying all this love. Only way she'll talk to you, and you know it, and she knows it, as if you're giving her money or sending her money or buying her things or paying her bills. She knows you're a sucker. She don't respect you. You're just letting this woman drag you down. She's not helping you, she's hurting you. There's no gray area. Zero. Just none. Every single person on this earth, every man, every woman can look at their relationship and say, is this person helping me or are they hurting me? It might not even be about finances. This woman could just be so rude, and her attitude can be so bad, and she can just be so unpleasant and unpeaceful and so bickering and so arguing. You know, that'll tear a man down just as quick as spending up all his finances. You know, you gotta have a clear head to reach your goals. You gotta have a clear head to reach your goals. You can't always be at war inside your head. A man's at war inside his head for 24 other reasons. His woman should be his last one. His woman should be his peace, his comfort. You know, does she let you lead? You're a man. Does this woman let you lead? A woman that always thinks she's got to lead, always has a funky attitude if you try to lead like a man should. If she doesn't let you lead, she's the leader. She wears the pants in the household. She is the boss. Is that really what you want for yourself as a man? For your woman to be the boss? For your woman to make all the decisions? That sounds like a feminine lifestyle. You know, a woman that really believes in you. She looks at you like you're a dang hero. She got your self-esteem all high. She's encouraging you. You're feeling good about yourself. Boy, you and that woman together with her having your back, you can run through brick walls. But a woman with a smart mouth, she is the wall. She'll make you run splat into it. You know, that attitude and anger and BS stressing you out, she will be a wall blocking your success, blocking your growth, blocking your life. You know, these women have you so stressed out you can't even be the father you want to be to your children. She got you arguing and stressed out and fighting all the time. A man who's fighting all the time with his woman, you can't be the best father you can possibly be to your children if you're always angry and your head's all cluttered up and you're always fighting with this individual. Your kids can see every second of that and they remember it. You can't be the best father you want to be. Always arguing, always angry. You know, tone matters. Disrespect matters. I advise men, if she has no problem disrespecting you, she ain't your woman, because she's sure not afraid to lose you. If she is real easy to disrespect you and it comes real easy to her, she has no problem disrespecting you, she has no problem losing you. She has no problem losing you at all. Matter of fact, she could be pushing you away, testing your limits. It's probably only your money and your security that's even keeping her. You know, a woman that's openly easy to disrespect you. You think she ain't gonna disrespect you with other men when you're not around? Of course she is. Of course she is. Of course she's gonna disrespect you with other men when you're not around, and she has no problem disrespecting you to your face. That's just facts. You think some woman that has no problem disrespecting you to your face and being all rude to you, you think she's not disrespecting you behind your back with other men? Absolutely she is. And if she's not, it's just because the right man hasn't come into the equation yet. The right man comes into the equation, she'll disrespect you with him so quick. She'll disrespect you so quick, she'll be like, I couldn't wait till you came into my life so I could ditch this loser. He doesn't even put his foot down. Lets me talk all funky to him. You know, a woman who just has no problem disrespecting you has no problem losing you. She's probably trying to lose you. You know, a woman who's into you, a woman who really likes you, she's going to find little missions, little tasks, little errands. She's going to find all kinds of little things to do for you. I promise. She's going to find any little thing to do for you to make your life a little bit better, a little bit easier. So she can be around a little bit more, have a little bit more of your attention. That's just how it works. A woman who's not into you, she ain't going to do any of that. She can have her hand out. She might do a little something, bare minimum, till she gets what she wants. Till your dumbass pays some bill she begs you to pay for. Ask, but it's all begging. You know. Then she's gonna be nice. But as soon as you give her what she wants, it's back to the same bratty, bossy, rude behavior. It's just all being used. I said it before. Men are getting tired of being used. We're tired of it. We're tired of the delusional expectations, the lack of accountability. Like, we really have women that are sitting here like, I cheated, but it's your fault because you didn't give me enough attention. So she cheated, but it's the man's fault because she was not getting enough attention. Do you know how crazy that sounds? And how stupid and how lack of accountability that sounds? A woman will literally say it, that she cheated because the man wasn't giving her enough attention, or he wasn't doing this, or he wasn't doing that. Let a man say that trash. Let a man say that garbage. You know, let a man say, I cheated, but it's the woman's fault because she wasn't taking care of business. You know, she wasn't doing this, she wasn't doing that. You know, you can't even say as a man, she was withholding love for 2 years. I didn't get no good loving for 2 years. So I cheated. I slipped up and I cheated. Oh, you'll be the worst person on earth. You should have been able to control yourself. You should have done this. You should have done that. You know, a man can't get away with that crap. It's garbage. It's a lack of accountability. Literally, women say it all the time. I cheated, but it's his fault. He wasn't giving me enough attention. He wasn't doing this. He wasn't doing that. Let a man say that. Let a man blame the woman for his infidelity. It's not going to work. It's not going to fly. It's just more hypocrisy. A man can't blame anything on his cheating or his infidelity. He can't blame anything on his infidelity. He just can't. He's going to sound like a jerk. He's going to be called a jerk. He's been called misogynistic. He's going to be called, you know, a terrible husband, a terrible man, a terrible significant other. Men can't blame a woman for the reason why they cheated, but women do it every day. I cheated on him because he wasn't paying me enough attention. Are you crazy? What kind of hypocritical garbage is that? Just zero accountability, just blaming the man for her garbage behavior. Let a man say I cheated because the woman wasn't giving me enough affection at home. It doesn't fly. It doesn't fly. So there's just no gray area, people. There's no gray area between if she's helping you or she's hurting you. You know, trust. Trust yourself. Trust your intuition. You know within a week of meeting a woman if she's good for you or not. If she's going to be a burden or is she going to be a blessing? Is this woman going to be a burden or is she going to be a blessing? Because there's no in between. And she might not even ask for anything financially. Her burden might be her bad attitude. It might be the chip on her shoulder. It might be the way she talks to you or thinks she can talk to you, and it's just perfectly okay with all that tone. It's rude. You know, men need a woman that's nice to them, that's actually nice to them, not just when they want something. You know, is she actually there for you? Nobody's too busy. If a woman says she was too busy to text you back, she don't like you. You best believe she's texting back the dude she's into, the man she's into. She ain't forgetting to text him back. She ain't forgetting to call him. She doesn't ignore his calls and then call back 4 hours later and be like, oh, sorry, I forgot. No. Women don't forget about that man that they're into or that they love or that they're in love with. They don't forget. They're not too busy. You know, is she encouraging to you? If you tell her all your goals, how does she respond? How does she respond when you tell her your goals and your life roadmap to get to your goals? How does she respond? Is she even interested? Half these women aren't even interested. They don't care what you got to say. They care about how much you can spend on them. You know, it's a whole hustle. It's a whole hustle. If you don't believe me, look at all the bios and the dating apps and all the people online reposting all the ridiculous demands. You know, women literally will think just by looking at their picture on some dating app that they are so out of this world beautiful that under their picture is a long list of demands of what you have to do to date them. Let a man do that stupid BS. He get laughed at. Let a man have in his dating bio that the woman has to be rich, that she has to be in shape, that she has to have no kids, that she has to come from a home where the parents are together, no broken homes. You know, man's gonna be called all kinds of names. He's gonna be laughed at, called names. He's gonna say he's being disrespectful to all women. Oh, I think these women expecting, you know, $10,000 a month in demands for a man to even date her, I think they making all women look bad. Because a lot of men, especially young men, they think that's all that's out there. They think that's all that's out there is these leech ass women. They think these leeches and bum women that they have to spend $8,000, $10,000 a month on for them to even like them. They think that's the norm. They think that's how it is. They think that's love. That ain't love. That's being used. Actually, it's quite the opposite of love. You know, A man being used is the opposite of love. She ain't loving him, she's using him. She's using him, she's not loving him. So however you want to say it. So, if a woman's not your piece, number one, a woman needs to be your piece. She's not your piece, then she's not for you. She doesn't even really like you. She's not that into you. Because if she's really into you, she really believes in you, she will be your piece. She'll step aside, she'll let you lead. She'll encourage you. There are great women out here. There are great women. There are great women that were raised right. But so many men are settling for these bums with their hand out. Stop settling. Stop settling. Once you respect yourself, better women gravitate to you. You searching for women at the bottom of the trash can, and then you find trash, and then you're disappointed. If you're looking for a woman in the trash can and you find trash, don't be surprised. If you find a garbage woman in the garbage can, you only looking through the garbage can if you don't respect yourself. If you don't love yourself, if you don't put yourself first as a man, if you don't get your together, that's what's most important. A man with his money right, his body tight, never ever have a problem finding a woman. I've said it once and I'll say it again. It's a deadly combination. Your money right, your body tight. You don't have to put up with no junk from any of these women. You don't have to put up with any of this mess. You don't have to repair broken lives and messy lives and be expected to take care of kids that ain't even yours. You shouldn't even be worried about the woman's expectations. Your only expectation should be to launch yourself into orbit. Be the most successful version of yourself you can be. And men who are really focused on that and really focused on their success, women just gravitate to that. Men always lose women Men always lose money chasing women. You never lose women chasing money. Let me repeat that for y'all who didn't hear that in the back. You always lose money chasing women. You never lose women chasing money. Never. Doesn't happen. So chase that money. Chase that money. You're going to respect yourself. She's going to respect you. It's just a win-win situation. And if you lose a woman chasing money, then bye. Goodbye. Good riddance. Thank you so much for getting out of my life. I'm going to do so much better without you. You should just look at any woman you're dating. Have a relationship with your wife on any level. By just thinking about it for 2 seconds, if she's not helping you, she's hurting you. Which one is it? Is she helping you or hurting you? I don't want to hear any of these dudes, well, if you gotta will it, then she's hurting you. Because if she's hurting you at all, then it's all downhill. There's no in between. And when you got a good woman who really is helping you, you don't have to think about it for a second. Is this woman helping me? Heck yeah, she is. She's the best. I won't even be here without her. Every real man who has a real good woman, they answer that question real quick. You dang right she's helping me. Well, I wouldn't even be with her if she wasn't. I wouldn't be where I am if it wasn't for her. There's nothing wrong with giving credit where credit is due. Just like there's nothing wrong with calling these bum ass beggar women bum ass beggars. You just call them like you see them. If you got yourself a good woman, celebrate her. If you got yourself a negative, smart mouth, rude, disrespectful, broke woman, man, don't just leave her. Don't just block her, run. You throw her like a hot stone. And don't look back. Don't look back. Don't answer her calls. Don't answer her texts. A man can do bad by himself, but a man can do great by himself when he's focused. When a man is focused, he can do great by himself. And then you do great by yourself, you can have any type of woman you want. Stop worrying about what kind of woman or what woman you have when you're still in the struggle. You're still in the struggle. You shouldn't even be worried about a woman because you know you're not going to get the type of woman you're going to be able to get when you reach your goals. Because a successful man who's reached his goals is definitely messing with a different caliber of woman that he could get when he was struggling. This is simple stuff. This is common sense. Why is it so hard? Why is it so hard nowadays for so many men not to realize they're being used? They're being sucked dry. These women have nothing to offer. Just nothing to offer. But one thing. They have one thing to offer. And that thing shouldn't matter to a man that values himself. So really, it's nothing. She has nothing to offer. That one thing she has to offer doesn't count to a man who values himself, cares about himself, has goals, putting his own goals before a woman, You don't lift up a woman before you lift up yourself. Are you crazy? Are you crazy? That's some low, weak energy from a weak man. It's pathetic. It's absolutely pathetic to lift up a woman, and you need to be lifting yourself up. You lift up yourself before you lift up any woman. No woman sees that you're struggling and asks you for things and knows you have no business helping her or giving her things or spending that money. She don't respect you asking, and she doesn't respect you doing, because she knows you can't afford it, or you have better things you could be spending your money on, or that money could be better put towards your goals. But she has no problem asking. She has no problem asking because she's a bum. She wasn't raised right. She wasn't taught to be a real woman. A real woman won't even come at you like that. She was raised to be a bum. She's probably raised by a bum of a mom. Probably came from a single parent household. Probably thinks there's some honor or badge and independence, like an independent woman. I don't need a man. Nobody likes to be alone. Nobody wants to die alone. When you do have somebody good, two heads are better than one. I don't care. Two incomes that make 50 grand is 100,000. That sounds a lot better to me than half of that. You literally double your income, but a lot of women don't want a man who makes the exact same as them. He must make more. Even though they could put their incomes together and bust ass together and do their thing together and build together. But no. She wants somebody who's already got it. She wants a man who's already got it, can just fit her right into a lottery win style life, even though she can't even do laundry. You know, we got women out here who are pulling underwear out the dirty clothes but think they deserve $1 million man to step in and save them, glow them up, and all the other catchy phrases they have for using men. You got women who hardly bathe, you know, pulling clothes out of the dirty clothes hamper to go to the club, and they think they deserve a high value man. Are you crazy? Are they crazy? How delusional are they? You know, you want a wife that doesn't even do laundry, that doesn't even cook, that's got a smart mouth, who's bossy, that doesn't let you lead? You're crazy. No man wants that. And these women are even crazier, thinking that men do. Just because some men put up with it doesn't mean that they want it. Big difference. They put up with it because they're weak and they don't know how to say no to your trifling behinds. You know? And then now you're dating a weak man and you don't even respect him. You're just using him. So you're just using him until the next man comes along, and now you're all used up. Now these women are hitting their 30s and they're real used up because it's become a pattern in their life, and all they do is just get used, disrespect. So they have no respect, they get no respect. They're just used up vessels by the time they hit in their 30s, and nobody wants them. You know, maybe some weak man wants to pick up that trash off the ground and value it. But she's just using him. She's just using him. That's it. That's it. So stop playing janitor to these bum, garbage women. You know, shout out to the good women. We ain't talking to you, but stop playing janitor to all these bum, garbage women with nothing to offer. No morals. You know how they have no morals? Because they have no problem asking you for a bunch of crap that's none of your business to be paying for. It's not your obligation. That's moralless behavior, to have your hand out for major things, expensive things, to people you hardly know. That's a moral breakdown right there in itself. That's not the type of woman who's gonna help you out in life. She gonna hurt you for sure. Maybe not your heart, but she gonna hurt your pockets. She gonna hurt your cash flow. She's gonna hurt your mental state. No woman like that is your peace. You know, that's all a woman should be, is your peace. That's the biggest thing she can do to help you. There's lots of things women can do to help you, but the number one thing is be your peace. When everything in the outside world is attacking you, that woman should be the very thing that should be your peace. You know? Y'all getting it twisted. Y'all getting it twisted. Thinking you can have all these rude, ghetto acting women. These women that are for the streets in your life, and you're going to live a peaceful life. You're not. You're not going to live a peaceful life with all this, you know, arguing and this trashy behavior and all this asking for everything and all this begging, all this neediness. Is she helping you or is she hurting you? If she's needy, she's not helping you. A needy woman is not helping you. Does that make you feel like a man because you're helping a needy woman? Nah, you're a doormat. You're being used. You're a sucker. Get that out your head. That doesn't make you manly because you're helping a needy woman. She might tell you it is. She might tell you that you're manly. Nah, you're a sucker. You're being used. She has no respect for you. She probably doesn't even want to be sleeping with you. She's only doing it because of what you're paying for. And what does that make her? That makes her the type of woman who you got to pay for her services. And I'm not going to use the term on air, but there's a very, very worldwide broad term for these type of women where you got to pay for their services. And you think this woman loves you or respects you just because she's needy? Nah, she's a service worker. That's it. She's a bum. She's a service worker. She's a panhandling beggar. And you think that makes you a real man because she's needy and you can fulfill her needs? What if you need something? What if you need something? It ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen, bruh. As soon as you start needing anything, she gone. Cause she ain't got nothing to offer. No, she's gone. As soon as that money dries up, she dries up. She's gone. You got a needy woman. You think it makes you manly to be helping her? Nah. Nah, she needs to get her life together, and so do you for even helping her. That doesn't make you chivalrous or a knight in shining armor. Makes you a jackass paying these women's bills that ain't your wife. Makes you an idiot. You're just being used. Everybody can see it, and she can see it. We all can see it. She ain't got nothing to offer. Is she helping you or is she hurting you? No gray area. Just none. If that woman ain't your piece, especially if you've been dating her for a while, some months, maybe a couple years even, might even be a few years, might be a lot of years. If you're dating her and she ain't your piece, your head's always frustrated and angry, and she's always rude and disrespectful and always wanting to argue, you need to leave. You will never be happy. You will never be the best version of yourself. Does she want what's best for you? You think this needy woman wants what's best for you? Yeah, she might want you to have more money so you can fulfill even more of her needs. Buy her more stuff, pay more stuff for her. But that's not wanting the best for you. That's really just wanting the best for herself. Does that woman really, really want what's best for you? Like, does she care about you on an individual level and not just what you can do for her or what you can buy her or what you can pay for her? Does she really care about you or even like you on an individual level, like you as a person? Because we've got these women, they don't even care if they like the person. They don't care about his character, his morals, his moral fiber. All they care about is what they can get out of him. And men are getting tired of being used. She don't give a care about your character. She just cares about what you can do for her. And we got a bunch of women who think that's just normal, natural dating now. That's just how women are supposed to get down. What can he do for me? With me doing as little as possible. Man, it's just got to end. Men, respect yourself enough to ask yourself the question, is she helping me or is she hurting me? Is she helping me be a better version of myself? Is she hindering me from being the best version of myself? If she's hindering you in any way, leave her. Cut ties. Why are men so afraid to cut ties with these bums? You got a bum woman who ain't got nothing to offer, always got her hand out, and this man's acting like he's losing something, or he'll fight to have this leech keep leeching off of him. He'll fight to keep this bum woman in his life that has nothing to offer, and all she does is ask for him to pay for stuff. Why? Why would you want that in your life? Are you that scared to be lonely? Are you scared to not have a woman? Are you that thirsty? There's no level of thirstiness. If you're that thirsty, get your butt in the gym. Just go to the gym constantly. Constantly be researching on multiple streams of income. What investments are best for you? You know, an IRA, a CD, a mutual fund. They're not sexy. They take a couple years. They could take a few years to grow. They could take 10 years to grow. But at least you can't touch that money, and neither can some bum woman. At least you ain't handing it out like confetti to these street sweeping women. They're on their back for anybody who's willing to pay a few bills, and you think she really likes you. You really think she's helping you in life? Nah, she ain't helping you, bruh. She ain't helping you. You know? A lot of these women, they think they're God's gift to men. Like, them just being there in their presence is doing something for them. Nah, you ain't doing nothing. You're just making everything cost double. Meals cost double now. You know, you're using up all electricity in my house. Gas is more, everything. You gotta put gas in her car. She expects it. If she expects, then she's hurting. She's not helping you. She's hurting you. A good woman doesn't expect anything but your kindness. You know, maybe for you to be a gentleman. You know, she doesn't expect you to be taking her out to $500 meals 6 days a week. You know, is she helping you or is she hurting you? You know, no woman would even want to burden a man financially thinking he has to take her out to $500,000 meals all the time. You know, who do you think you're dating? You're trying to break a millionaire. You know, millionaires are notoriously cheap people. People with real money, they don't just sit there throwing it away on fancy meals constantly, you know, or a bunch of dumb, unnecessary crap. They just don't. I mean, you don't see people with real money that just live in the Louis store. You know, those are for people who are trying to act rich, not be rich. There's a big difference between acting rich and being rich, or trying to show people that you're rich and actually being rich. People with deep wealth, you know, they don't care about any of that crap. You know, so it's not your job to fulfill all the holes in her soul with material possessions, because she's a broken individual. It's just not your job. It's not your obligation. If she's not helping you, she is hurting you, fellas. I'm about to wrap it up here, but I just encourage every man who's in a relationship to really, you know, look that relationship in the mirror, you know, for 2 seconds. It doesn't take long. And be like, is this woman helping me or is she hurting me? It's so simple, but it's so important. And if that woman isn't on your side, you know, she's not helping you, get rid of her, block her, run. Get away. Don't put up with the disrespect. Don't put up with the smart mouths. All that stuff hurts you. All that stuff makes it impossible to reach your goals when you got all that arguing and smart mouth and disrespect and eye rolling in your life. Get rid of it. Be better. Respect yourself more. All right, I love everybody who listened. Thank you for listening. Y'all have a good night. Respect yourself enough. Love yourself enough to put yourself first and build yourself before you build a woman. All right, good night.